Hi, I'm Timothy Maurice Webster. I'm an author in the brain and brand science field. I'm obsessed with stories, especially stories of social impact and change, particularly women's stories and how women are reshaping the world as we know it. We're out in Glenburn, in literally the middle of the cradle of mankind. And I'm capturing a story of Tshepiso EPK, an extraordinary young woman who has, despite the fact that she's extremely young, in her mid-20s, decided that she wants to use her influence, the legacy of her heritage and family, and her own learning to be able to make a fundamental difference in society. I am learning by capturing her journey things that are inspiring and giving me chills. I can't wait for people to hear what her life and her journey is about. You're talking about making a difference. We're on a bridge as I speak. She is a bridge to the next generation. She's the type of person that's going to help usher South Africa into the next chapter of its extraordinary history. Watch out for Tshepiso EPK.
Have you ever believed in the saying that less is more? I truly believe that it's time for that now for Milbyforce. My name is Tshepiso EPK, and I have been in retail for 6 years now, from 2014 to 2018, and I see the growth, and it's very rapid, but at the same time I believe it's time for us to have change, and it's time for me to have less admin because I'm really busy with other projects, but also still have increased profits. And the only way to increase your profits in petroleum, as everybody knows, is that you need to have great literage. So in retail I'm limited. I've been doing about 350,000 liters per month, and now with wholesaling I've been having so many wholesaling opportunities, but I haven't taken them with both hands because I've always felt like, I need to stay in one place. I believe it's time to change. I believe that it's time for Milbyforce to have a different growth, and the growth is now. Now from 2019, Milbyforce will be trading under wholesaling in Mozambique. We're going to have at least minimum 1 million liters per month. So less admin, less staff and responsibility to deal with, and that also helps Milbyforce to grow and focus on other things. I'm tired of being limited. I want open space to be able to elevate to the next level of our success. My name is Tshepiso EPK, the owner of Milbyforce.
Tshepiso EPK, who is important in your life and why?
Estelle, who's important in my life firstly is my family, my immediate family, and then also my external family, in which I have developed along the years since I've started working. Why? Because they are the reason why I am the woman that I am today. They've taught me certain lessons in life that other people couldn't teach me, or any institution couldn't teach me. And they've guided me and mentored me through my journey in my personal life, and also through my journey in my business life. And I also believe that they've been great role models and set the bar up high so that I don't limit myself as to what age I am, and I just look at the opportunities and I grab it with both hands, because I feel that I am capable of doing anything that I put my mind to, and that is how I was raised from a very young age. I always wanted to be with my father, so I used to always go with him to functions, and I also used to make appointments for our family occasions and arrange events that we had at our family home and all of those things. And I think I really started learning what business was about and being organized at a very young age, and that also taught me a lot of lessons in life about how I should prioritize what I do and how I do it, and how I analyze certain decisions and don't just take rational decisions but calculated decisions, in which will help me going forward within my personal and within my workspace. My colleagues, with people that are important to me, is Levis Dippenaar, Estelle Rowe yourself, and also Chantal Swanepoel, and along with Peter Berger.
How did you get into business with Tshepiso?
Well, actually, Tshepiso met my husband first, and he set up a meeting for us. And at that meeting, we just discovered our shared passions for business and giving back to the community.
I actually started knowing Tshepiso on screen, actually, by just seeing her, because her father is like a prominent person that we all know. So I just started following her. And then fortunately, I got to be selected as one of the finalists of the Mrs. Mpumalanga 2018. So when she was a sponsor of Miss Mpumalanga, so we just started conversing because the first photo shoot that we've had as official finalists was at her Milvifor's petrol station. So she's a very quiet yet outspoken person, if you can understand what I mean. She will come to you and greet you in a very quiet, kind of timid way, but it's really not. It's just more assertive.
Okay, basically we met as a mutual with a business situation that she had, and I assisted her in a business to make it more profitable. I basically came in as the operations guy, the do-it guy.
Tshepiso's involvement was initially garnered through a relationship that started ages ago before she even was considered to join the board. And I think with sport and with professional sport, and specifically rugby in South Africa, and where we're trying to move towards what we're trying to do for the province, especially with being the Pumas being in the province and hopefully getting an international, inter-provincial participation as well, is extremely important to diversify and open up the sport to various different other demographics as well. And not only that, but get specialist knowledge and people that has actually got an active interest and a passion for sport and the development of the sport, to get them involved on a top decision-making senior level. And hence the reason why we decided to get Tshepiso on board is because she is one young dynamic woman, which is obviously also normally earmarked as a very male-dominated industry, and it's something that we wanted to break the stigma a little bit on as well. And saying that young people, dynamic people, can change the face of the industry, and it can actually make a difference for a lot of different people in the province and even abroad.
Mrs. Pinky Pauser, what are the Pauser family values?
As a family, we have to respect one another. We have to support one another, but also to grow, the children to grow with integrity, and everything we do, we must do it with integrity and with dignity. This is what I've emphasized to my children. Wherever we go, shall we try and represent each other well as we uphold these values?
Integrity, mutual respect. We're very driven, we're achievers, and we believe that the truth is to be told. We don't beat about the bush. We ruffle feathers where it's necessary, whether it's in business or politics, just to get things done properly.
Yolanda, what character traits stand out for you with regards to Tshepiso?
One, honesty. Her honesty is the most amazing thing that you can possibly, like, as a human being, when you associate yourself with somebody that you grew up in different, I can say, standards. I'm not like putting it in a very demeaning way, but her honesty is like far the greatest.
Working with Tshepiso is a great adventure. She always has daring new ideas, and she really does look at the world through rose-tinted glasses.
She's got a very strong will and a sense and a hard head, which is sometimes exceptionally good in business. If you want to achieve something, you need to make sure that you run it, and she's that type of person.
I think one of the first things that stands out with Tshepiso is energy, approachfulness, friendly demeanor, a caring aura that surrounds her, and I think that's one of the most prominent things that you notice about Tshepiso.
She is the most loyal person I've ever seen by far, that I've actually, since I've known her, and when looking at her previous relationship, she's still keeping them, so that should say a lot about that.
She has a unique ability to connect with people and always secure a favorable outcome. She's really a strong woman in her own right.
Other people that are very important to me is underprivileged children and orphanages that I've worked with, because I believe it's important for us to take a step back and also to give back to our communities. I would be having the worst day and I would be doing some charity work and people would be like, but are you not having a bad day? I'm like, no, but I feel like my challenges are nothing compared to their challenges. So it also helps me to also think back and acknowledge and appreciate what I do have, and then it also helps me put things into perspective in order for me to take rational decisions and instead of thinking impulsively.
Have you identified the gaps within your market? I'm involved in petroleum, and I realize that it's a very tough business to be involved in as a woman. There's only 20% of global women that are involved in petroleum, and I believe that it's important for us to identify gaps. I identified a gap from Milbyforce, Puma, and Nelspruit N4 when I took over in 2015. What I did is I decreased my diesel price to be the most competitive diesel price in the whole of Nelspruit. So I decreased it to 44 cents, and that alone for a whole year increased my clientele, increased my value for the business, because at the end of the day, we were starting from 175,000 liters of petrol, and in a year and a half we hit 350,000 liters for petrol. And people said this was impossible, but it was possible because of the way that I identified gaps with regards to pricing, with regards to marketing. We put it on radio, we put it on social media for everybody in Nelspruit to know. And in just a few months, the Milbyforce filling station was the place to be. So have you identified gaps in your market? I hope that you do, and I hope that you understand that you will reap the rewards when you do identify those significant gaps that distinguish you from your competitors.
I think Tshepiso is extremely driven. I think she's got a passion for following potentially in a family's footsteps in terms of building a business empire, which there's nothing wrong with. I think that she's willing and open to learn and to meet new challenges, and she doesn't shy away from challenges. And I think those are rare qualities of entrepreneurs that is extremely important, especially with the socioeconomic challenges that we face with in South Africa today.
It's exceptionally the close relationship that we've got, and we see each other as family, and that's exceptionally important, especially when you've got in business. There needs to be that trust between each other to support each other, and you know where you lack of skills, somebody else take it over, and there we complete each other completely.
Chantal, what is MobiGo?
MobiGo Solutions is a production house that focuses on e-learning to provide our clients with a turnkey solution that will make learning fun and enable learning from anywhere at any time. We have trained thousands of people in multiple countries across the globe and are considered an industry leader in adaptive learning. Our business can be broken down into two main components. Firstly, a production house, with services ranging from graphic design to 3D animation. And secondly, software solutions, which includes a fully integrated learner management system and mobile applications, and to top it all off, virtual and augmented reality.
Lowveld Coffee is a company that was situated in the heart of the Lowveld. It's basically a company where we concentrate on coffee machine services as well as industrial and household coffee machines, and we also develop our own well-known brand now in the Lowveld, Mozambique and Swaziland, and we've got a couple of overseas clients as well where we distribute coffee, which is unique. You can find it nowhere in the world. Our main brand, the Big Five, comes from a specific farm in Rwanda, which gets harvested every year, and we buy everything that's on our specific brand. Tshepiso came in as a part of the business. She's a socialite Flinder, and she came in as the marketing people to get the people. I'm more the behind the scenes on the operations side, and she's the one to attract people and to keep our face looking good on the outside.
Tshepiso is our Director for Public Relations and Social Investment. She would obviously organise most of our CSI projects and come up with ideas for public relations and marketing and getting our name out there.
She's very more on giving to the community, as a lot of people we know her for. She's like basically the Mother Teresa of, like, I can say Nelspruit. So I had a dream of making sure that some girls that can't have the dignity sanitary packaging can actually have something like that. And she was also working with a lot of other people, businesses, and the finalists for the previous year. So she then approached me and said, Yolanda, can we work together? And for me, I feel when you work as a collective, it becomes powerful. So that's how we started working. We started going through. The first one, she was quite busy because we all know how busy she is. So she sent me to a school where I actually found. Now, we actually did the whole thing. I say we did the whole thing because she was there in spirit, because she was doing something else, which was also in a good way. And then the second one, I went to my hometown with her. So that's how she got to see where I grew up, the kind of church I go, the people that I actually meet. And she was like motivated to do more. So we do a lot of that. And we're planning to do something different in the future because we want to keep people guessing, because we don't want to only do that only.
Tshepiso, I'd like to know, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years from now? What are your plans and what do you envisage for yourself?
In 5 years' time, I see myself having at least 10 filling stations all over South Africa. And secondly, I see myself being a patron for at least 50 orphanages. And that's why I push my business so hard, so that I can do more for other people, and also so that I can also employ more people in our country to also talk to the unemployment rate that we have within our youth. I'm a youth that was privileged enough to have the knowledge to be able to work in certain platforms, and I feel that it is my obligation to give back and to open doors for other youth to have opportunities. And thirdly, I also plan on being known internationally with regards to my book. I'm busy with my first one, but I would like in 5 years' time to have at least written my second book, and to be able to represent South Africa in various countries. And most importantly, I'd love to be a billionaire, and I will be, because I'm working towards it. And if I put my mind to something, I believe that it's possible. So I want to be a billionaire. Independently, outside my family hub, I want to be a billionaire.
From your mouth to God's ears. What do you want for your children?
Well, my wish, like any parent, is to have responsible children, and children who will be able to look not at themselves but beyond themselves and serve other people.
Maybe we should say, what to see that I don't want for my children. I don't want them to be me. I want them to be themselves. But in being themselves, I must identify their strong points and their weak points, and strengthen those weak points, and propel the strong points. Let them achieve. I don't want them to be involved in politics at this age. I want them to focus on their business careers, which I think they're focusing, they're doing well.
If you had to give Tshepiso some advice or encouragement for her future, what would that be?
Like she always does, aim for the stars. But before you can fly, you need to walk. So keep your fundamentals and your basics right, and then you'll achieve much more.
When somebody looks down on you, they kind of like demean what you're capable of. So the best revenge is to succeed at what you're doing, because that's the most like revenge for somebody that actually doesn't see you past just that little shell that everybody puts you in.
Stay strong and keep your head up high, because you're beautiful and everybody around you sees it. And my wish for you is that someday you can see yourself through our eyes.
You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Deal with those mistakes and learn from them. Stay true to yourself. Stay consistent in everything that you do. Give yourself credit when you're doing well. Sometimes take a knee and take some stock in terms of where you were and where you've come from and what you've actually managed to attain. I know that she's also extremely hard on herself at times and wanted to get things done, like myself, sometimes too quickly. Learn patience in your life, but also in everything that you do what you do to make an impact on a bigger, broader picture and on other people's lives. Leave a legacy.
Tshepiso, I'm sure you've already experienced working with her. She's very assertive. And whatever that she lays her mind on, she will do that thing with passion and the need to want to achieve. What I taught her was, if she does something, I ask her one question: what do you want to achieve? Because if you don't know what to achieve, it's pointless.
She must continue to focus on the various businesses where we have encouraged her and we're helping her to grow. We're always finding new businesses to do, and she's not afraid to start new things. And I like that, because that shows initiative. And for the parents, is to support, to invest in those new initiatives. She mustn't be afraid to cut her teeth on anything if it makes business sense. That's my word to her.
I am Tshepiso EPK, the owner of Movie Force, fueled by passion. I am nature. I've got a nurturing character that is so different and distinguishes me from the rest. I'm like the trees. I stand firm when it comes to certain decisions. I am the sky. Even if I see the clouds and things may seem to be blue, at the end of the day, I know that I will still have purpose. I will still look for a direction to maneuver around the clouds like a plane. I will make sure that I still reach my destination. I am the light in the room. That's why I'll always refer to myself as the sun. I am motivated to be the difference I want to see. I am Tshepiso EPK, the owner of Movie Force, fueled by passion.